Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Today, it's another one of my Orange Hero guides, but first off, I'd just like to say thank you for all your previous likes, comments and subscriptions, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, why not click on that subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever I'm dropping videos on the channel, which is daily. Now, on to the Orange Hero guide. So today, we are looking at the last of the 10 Orange Heroes, which is Yamaraja. He is one of the 7 general heroes, so what that means is he will work with any troop types of footmen, archers, or your cavalry. As it says here in his description, he's a melee hero, so this hero excels at close range combat, suitable for leading front or mid-row squads. In my opinion, Yama is really suited just for the middle row, and we'll have a look at his skills now and I'll explain why I think this. So skill 1 as normal is his dictator skill, gives the 23,100 extra troop count. Skill 2, sentencing, is a combat skill, effective range of 2, so will target 1 random enemy squad within effective range. So that is why Yama has to be on your front or middle row, because if you place him in that back row, this skill cannot reach the enemy. It would have to have a minimum of an effective range of 3. Now, it's going to get a bit confusing when we look at Yama's other skills which have longer ranges, but we'll get to that in a second. In terms of its chance, 55% chance, so it's nice high chance to deal 357.5% damage to a single enemy target. So that's a high percentage chance based. You're probably looking at it activating 4 to 6 times in a battle, really. So that's nice, and obviously at these earlier stages you want to be trying to generate as much damage from your heroes as possible. Skill 3, as usual, is the defensive formation. It's going to give up to 30% extra resistance to the troops in the squad. And his skill 4, the offensive formation, will give 30% extra might to the troops in his squad that he's leading. Skill 5, Ghoulish Execution, is another combat skill, and the effective range for this one is 3. It will target 2 random enemy squads within effective range. So again, if you put Yamaraja on the back row, this skill will only be able to reach the front row. You would lose half of the damage because it can't reach the opponent's middle row. It would need to have a range of 4 for that. So he really does have to go maximum in the middle row. This has got a 40% chance, so it's likely to activate 3 to 5 times in a battle on average. It's going to do 241% damage to multiple enemy targets, so the 2 enemy squads. That's 482%. That's okay. To be honest, quite a few of the heroes, other orange heroes, have skills that are going to do a little bit more damage than this, but 40% is pretty much on a par, so it's not so bad. His 6th skill, Siege Awaken. He is the only hero in the game that has Siege Awaken. So first off, he's going to give the 250% bonus to your skill 1, so that is going to maximize your troop count. You want to get that duplicate medal of Yamaraja so you can unlock his 6th skill. Really important to get that troop count up. Also though, you'll see here, he has extra 10% might and resistance. That's nothing new. This next section though, 25 plus 25% siege might. He's the only hero in the game that has this on his 6th skill, giving an extra 25% might, but only when sieging, so when you're attacking another castle. So it is a limited benefit, but 25% might, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be that, probably in terms of, if you say your might is around 300%, then that's in total, then it's less than a 10% benefit. And that is really the only kind of added extra you're getting from Yamaraja. His skills 2, 5 and 8, they're just combat damage. They don't do anything else. They don't buff him. They don't buff anyone else in the Legion. They don't deal extra damage to the opponent. They don't have any kind of countering like a silencing or a suppression. So Yamaraja is all about damage. And with that in mind, his 7th skill is the offense plus 30% might for all of the 3 squads in the Legion. And then his 8th skill, Hell's Path, combat skill, effective range of 5. So interestingly, Yama is the only hero in the game that has an effective range of 2 and an effective range of 5 skill in his same hero skills. And it doesn't really make any sense, because it makes you think that potentially he could go on the back row, but obviously, like I've already said, if you put him on the back row, this skill will work perfectly, but his skill 2 won't work at all, and his skill 5 would only be 50% effective, so you don't want to do that. But this is quite a nice skill. It's going to target all three random enemy squads. It does require 1 turn of prep. So say if it was triggered on turn 4, then it won't actually action until turn 5. It's a 40% chance. And so again, you're looking at, probably 3 to 5 times in a battle, hopefully. Well, 3 or 4 times, because it does require the 1 turn of prep. And it's going to deal 282% damage. So that's to 3 enemy squads. That's 846% damage. That is the second highest amount of damage from a skill from the normal orange heroes after Heaven Justice's 8th skill that does over 1,000% damage. But that is limited to only possibly working on 3 turns. So in theory, this Hell's Path does have the potential to be one of the top skills of all the heroes in orange. So let's now have a look at Yamaraja in a battle. I'm just going to swap over into a different account for that, as I didn't face an opponent and I don't have this hero in this account. So I will just be back in a second once I've swapped into Maverick Pond, which did have Yamaraja in its formation this week. So here we are in Maverick Pond, and it is a heroes duel battle, so that 25% extra might from the 6th skill will not be applicable in this battle. If we look at Yamaraja, how he did in this round, he used skills 9 times. Now I was in 8 battles this week in heroes duel in my Maverick Pond account, and on average Yama was getting off about 8 skills a battle. That is going to be pretty standard. You should really see him getting off at least 6 skills in a battle because of his skill 2 sentencing being 55%. It's such a high chance. You should be seeing that really at least 4 times in a battle. Then you only need the other 2 to activate at least once for you to hit that 6 target. The problem is, like, you'll see he doesn't do a lot of kills per skill. Now, partly this is down to the fact that in this account, he's actually not maxed. So you can see he's only on level 7. I haven't used Wisdoms to max him yet. And that's quite telling because he's just not a priority. I don't have him maxed in any account. I don't even have him in my main account. But we'll talk about that after the battle. So this is not him at max power, but it's just a chance to have a look at his skills in action. So this is against Kratos, another player in 55. And Kratos is using his footmen up against my Cavs. So obviously I'm benefiting from the Cavs countering footmen. So here we go, turn 1, sentencing, that's his 2nd skill. And Ghoulish Execution, that is his 5th skill. And what we're going to see in the battle is we won't actually see Ghoulish Execution activate again, even though it is 40% chance. What we will see is that sentencing is going to activate regularly, and we just saw there Hell's Path is being triggered, so or action is about to action because you had that icon come up with the hourglass in it. When you see that, that is one of the combat skills that requires either 1 or 2 turns of prepping. So it will tell you when it, and there you go again for North Rage for the Imperium skill, and Apocalypse Prayer for Valkyrie. So any of those skills, if you see that icon, that means they're waiting and they're going to be then triggered either on the following turn if it just requires 1 turn of prep, or some skills do require 2 turns of prep. So here's sentencing again, which is this first one, and then Hell's Path, hitting all 3 units, doing nearly 6,000 damage. But again, it actually can be more potent than that. This is not maxed out. As we said, these skills are at level 7. And you might have noticed as well, so he is giving a fair amount of might to his troops with their kills as well, Yama. So it's a difficult one. Like, the combination that I've put him in, Dual Blades, Yama, Heaven's Justice. To be honest, Dual Blades wouldn't be my primary choice. On their sentencing yet again, and a Hell's Path is getting ready to action on turn 5. I probably, in terms of combos, you want to be running like a Rochi or North Rage in front of Yama. And in earlier stages of the game, like if you're looking to be for an attacking Legion, obviously he gives that extra might on his sieging. So here, turn 5, we're seeing sentencing again. There we go, hitting the front row. And, of course, then Hell's Path hitting all 3 legions. So that is nice that he is able to damage, to attack all 3. the problem with Yama is, like I say, he's just not doing a lot other than this basic damage. And when you consider, you've got, I mean, when he's a middle row hero, you think you've got Dual Blades, who has 2 skills that are 50% chance. There's sentencing again, see, is actioning a lot. You've got Dual Blades that is doing, probably her skills have a better overall chance of activating, plus her 8th skill has that suppression element, which would stop an opponent's squad from basic attacking and getting off any hero skills for a turn, which earlier in the game can make a big difference. There we go, North Rage, his 8th skill has suppression, so you can see there that Dual Blades in my legion has been suppressed, so her squad will not do anything on this turn, on their next turn. There we go, suppressed, didn't do anything. Sentencing again from Yama though, and really he's kind of like, you would want to put Rogue as a preference for your cavalry, to be honest, on the middle row. You could put him in archers like North Rage, Yama, Zoro, for instance, if you want a combo that would potentially, an attacking combo that would potentially do a lot of damage. If you were going really, if you're going really strong, you could try Rogue, Yama, and then like Heaven's Justice or Hurricane. But for me, like, you can put Zoro, for instance, with your archers. You can put Zoro in the middle row as well. So, it's just, and then you could run Hurricane behind Zoro as a preference to having Yama. It just depends what heroes you have available. But again, as soon as you're starting to pick up S heroes, you're just not going to use this guy. You're not going to keep him around because you will hang on to Dual Blades, Zoro, and Rogue before you look at Yama for that middle row again. So that's kind of where you're at with him in terms of his longevity and everything else. Obviously, you will want to, when you're unlocking his skills, you want to try and get that duplicate so you can unlock his 6th skill as soon as possible, because he is going to obviously need that full troop count on the middle row. You don't want to be running low on the middle row, otherwise it can collapse quite quickly. And then you probably do want to focus on unlocking this 8th skill, because it does target all 3 enemy squads. It does have quite a lot of damage attached to it, so that is quite a nice 8th skill for an orange hero. And then you would do his 7th skill last. That's how I would do it anyway. And that's Yama really, guys. Like, for me, he's, along with Rough Rider, he's probably one of the weakest heroes out of this original batch of orange heroes. It just doesn't, a lot of him doesn't make sense, like with the skill range, for instance, having a skill range 2, 3, and 5. And I don't know, like, if the devs did that on purpose or what, because it doesn't really make sense, even why you would just bother having that range of 5, because it affects the other 2 skills abilities effectiveness. So I don't know what they were doing with that one, but yeah, as soon as you get into S1 or S2, if you're picking up, for instance, for your archers, if you've picked up like Volunteer, or you've picking up Inquisitor, for your cavalry, you've picked up like Bulwark or Lionheart, you're going to pick up a Mortal for your back row. You're going to have other options to move people around onto that middle row, and I'm pretty sure when you're looking at your formations, you will be getting rid of Yamaraja pretty quickly. So for me, I wouldn't invest too much in him if you've got other options earlier on in the game, guys. So there we go. That is everything on Yamaraja. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then please do click on that like, and I'd be interested to hear your opinions on him. As I say, I think he's okay in an offensive formation early in the game, but other than that, I don't think you really want to be using him. So yeah, please do pop your comments below, and if this is one of the first videos that you're watching on the channel, then please do click on that subscribe and ring the bell. I do videos for all elements of the game, uploads every day. So yeah, just have a look around, look at the playlist down below, and hopefully you'll find something that you like. And if you could please share my channel in your Alliance chat, Providence chat, through line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.